Welcome friends! As you know, I've been shooting with A6000 for the past year, an awesome camera by the way. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I really needed the secondary camera. And you know, I had a big thought process of which one to go with. Should I go with Sony a7 III, or should I go with A6400 or any other camera, right? So in this video, if you are also kind of trying to figure out which camera to go with, I want to just share with you my thought process so you can decide, or I can help you decide to which one to go with, or maybe I will just confuse you even more. For that, I'm very sorry already in advance, but here is what I thought would be the wise idea to do. So first, before we start, I must mention that I have both the full frame lenses and also the crop sensor lenses. So for me, lenses were not in any way a limitation of making my options of which system I should go with. If you have that problem, then think carefully, because as you know, for a full frame, the lenses are way more expensive than it is for the crop sensor cameras. So, and since I mostly intend to use this camera for videos, this is the field that I was comparing these two cameras with, the video capabilities. And to be honest, they are very similar in a way, because they have you know, the same Bion ZX image processor. Both of them have 24 megapixel sensor. They both record 4K, 30 frames per second. They do 100 megabits per second as well, and at 120 frames per second they can shoot in 1080p. So video wise, it's very similar. I think the only difference is that the A7 III has better ISO capabilities. You can shoot in higher ISOs. Both of them have picture profiles, S-Logs, HLGs and all those things, and both cameras come with 3.5mm microphone input, and I almost killed this little plant by the way. But A7 III is superior in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, A7 III is more superior in these 7 areas. Very quickly. First of all, it has full frame sensor, which means that you will mostly notice this difference in photography, not so much in videography. Second, and that is a major drawback, and I wish my camera would have that, is IBIS, or in-body image stabilization. For me, then I have to go with something like 120 frames per second to have that footage really smooth, or I have to shoot with gimbal, which I don't have unfortunately. A7 III has headphones output, so if you want to monitor your audio, you are better with A7 III. It has much better battery life because they're using the new generation, they're much bigger batteries. Better autofocus just because they have 625 something points versus 425 points on the A6400. But still, A6400's autofocus is really good anyways. And lastly, A7 III has 2 card slots, and again, that's mostly for photographers. If you're doing some client work, you want your images to be backed up in 2 SD cards. As for videos, I don't believe they're being recorded in both SD cards. So for me, that was not the case to, you know, make the choice. However, A6400 wins in 2 categories. First of all, actually 3. First of all, being smaller and much lighter, more compact camera. Second thing, what is this? 1, 2. First, second thing, it has a flip-up screen. That is something I very much need, since I use it for videos and I'm shooting a lot of these, you know, sitting in front. I don't want these monitors and all those things. I do a couple of vlogs as well on the street, so I can't be bothered with the too many things. So having a flip-up screen is a very good addition. And the third thing, it's most importantly much cheaper, and sometimes even 2 times cheaper. And I'm not even talking about lenses. If we look in the lenses, forget about it. Full frame lenses, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times more expensive than for the crops. A7 III is a very dear camera, and I has always wanted this camera, but still, yet I did not choose it, and that's because of 2 reasons. First is because in a couple of months, I hope the A7 IV will come out. So my thought process is that it's not worth of getting A7 III now before the A7 IV comes out. And second, having the A6400 for me is a perfect thing, because when the A7 IV comes out and I buy that camera, because I do need a good photography camera as well, and it hopefully will have the 30 megapixel sensor, and that will be my main camera. So A6400 will become my secondary camera, and I feel like having A7 III and A7 IV, you know, two cameras, they're so similar, and you know, A7 III would not make it for good, what do you call it, a secondary camera, right? And besides, I have a couple of crop sensor lenses, so having A6400 will be perfect as a secondary camera. I realized that A7 IV is gonna be hell of expensive. I think like $2,500 at least, if not more. And here in Europe, probably is gonna be 2,500 euros. If you still need, you know, IBIS, and you need those two card slots, and you need to focus more on photography, and you feel like going with A7 III is a good thing for you, and that's your decision, I totally support you. My only recommendation for you would be to wait for a little bit until the A7 IV comes out, because then the price will drop, and then you will be able to get your A7 III for much better price. And by the way, if you want to know why I went with A6400, not with A6100, check out this video here or somewhere there, and you will see for yourself. There is a thought process behind that as well. Alright guys, that's it for me today. I hope the video was very useful for you. I hope I didn't confuse you. I hope I actually helped you, because that is my goal with each and every video. And I will see you in the next video that should come out very, very soon. So stay tuned. Bye.